Chapter 15. The Kramers lived in a large white stone house with white columns in front, on top of a steeply sloping front lawn. Flower gardens stretched along the house on both sides of the columns. The grass down the hill to the street was smooth and clipped short, dotted with wall-trimmed evergreen shrubs and tall, graceful trees. It was such a beautiful sunny day, Georgia decided to hold a ventriloquist show on the front lawn. She wheeled Maggie out in front of the flowers. Then she carried a folding chair for herself from the big garage at the back. Maggie was 11 years old. She was a short, wiry girl with wavy blonde hair, bright green eyes, and a dazzling smile. She hadn't been smiling much lately. She was athletic and very energetic, the kind of person who never wanted to sit still. Ever since she'd broken her hip water skiing on a holiday with her parents, she felt trapped in the wheelchair. Georgia hoped that spending some time with Maggie would cheer her up just a little. Squinting into the sun, Georgia sat down on the folding chair and propped Slappy on her lap. "I'm not very good yet," she confessed to Maggie. "I've just got Slappy, and I haven't really had time to rehearse any kind of act with him." Georgia waited for Stella to make a sarcastic comment, but Stella had promised to be on her best behavior. She didn't make her usual nasty remarks. She sat cross-legged in the shade of a tall evergreen tree, her face hidden by the floppy purple cap, absently pulling up the blades of grass with both hands. Georgia fumbled her hand inside the dummy's back till she found the controls for his mouth and eyes. She opened and closed the mouth several times, testing it out. "I'm kind of nervous," she told Maggie. She cleared her throat. "Why be nervous?" Maggie asked, fidgeting in the wheelchair. "It's just me, and you know I laugh at anything." "Thanks for the encouragement. I need it," Georgia declared. She turned to Slappy. "How are you today, Slappy?" "Weep beep, weep beep," she made Slappy reply. "What does that mean?" Georgia asked. "It means I have a frog in my throat," Slappy replied. It was a stupid joke, but Maggie laughed. "Are you feeling sick today?" Georgia asked the dummy. She made his mouth click up and down. "No, but my head hurts." "You have a headache, Slappy?" "No. Splinters." Maggie laughed and slapped the arms of the wheelchair with both hands. "Georgia, you're good," she exclaimed. "I can barely see your mouth move." "Ha ha," Stella chimed in sarcastically from down on the grass. "Remind me to laugh." "Stella, you promised," Georgia scolded. "Oops. Sorry," her little sister murmured. "Do some more," Maggie urged. "I love Slappy's squeaky voice. It's very funny." "You're funny too," Georgia made Slappy say to Maggie. "Funny looking." "Now don't get insulting, Slappy," Georgia scolded him. "Didn't your mother teach you any manners?" "How could she?" Slappy replied. "She was an oak tree." Maggie tossed back her head and laughed. "Georgia, this was so nice of you," she declared. "Yes, and nice of me," Slappy thought happily. "Here I am, entertaining a girl with a broken hip. What a good deed. And all I have to do is keep my mouth shut and act like a dummy. Good deed number 1 for Slappy. I'm still alive. Still alive!" "Slappy, do you know how to stop a wild elephant from charging?" Georgia asked. "Take away his credit card?" She made Slappy reply in a squeaky mouse voice. "I've heard that one," Maggie declared, "but it's still funny." Georgia turned back to Slappy, but a shout from the house made her stop. "Georgia, telephone call for you," Maggie's mom called from the front door. Georgia jumped up. "I'll be right back," she told Maggie. She sat Slappy down on his back on the grass, and she went jogging to the house. It's probably Mom with some kind of a message, Georgia thought. She was nearly to the front door when she heard the scream, a high wail of horror. "Help me! Somebody! I!" Georgia's heart leaped into her throat. She spun round and saw the wheelchair rolling down the hill. Bumping hard over the grass, picking up speed, Maggie's arms flew up helplessly, grabbed at nothing but air. Faster, faster, the wheelchair rocketing down the steep hill, down to the street. Maggie's terrified cry rang in George's ears. "Help me! Stop this! Somebody!" Georgia saw Stella, on her feet now, standing so stiffly, frozen in terror. With Maggie's cries in her ears, Georgia took a few lurching steps down the lawn. She heard the shrill squeal of car tires before she saw the blue van roar to the street. No! Georgia let out a helpless cry as the wheelchair bounced on its collision course with the speeding van. Did the van hit Maggie's chair? Georgia's eyes blurred from terror. But now she saw Maggie fly up from the chair, fly onto the tarmac. Maggie's scream stopped. Such a heavy, heavy silence now. Maggie didn't move.